Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Gator Gang Network. I am your host, Bobby, and we have an exciting episode tonight. I am joined here with my co-host, Lucas, Daryl, and we have a special guest tonight. And let's welcome Moose to the party tonight. How are you guys doing?
We're
Doing
doing
good.
good.
Hey,
One
I'm
more
good. I'm
W.
good. Bobby, ready for it, man? Let's do it.
Yes.
One more.
So,
One more W.
and 2020 has been a year unlike no other we've ever had, that we've ever seen. And Florida usually plays Tennessee in the beginning of the year. This year, it would actually be the last game of the year, but due to COVID, everything got switched around. And this will be our second to last game. So Florida looks to improve in week 8 and being 7-1 and only have one loss to Texas A&M, which is a game that we could have won.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
We probably should have won that. If Davis doesn't fumble, we probably go down and win that game at the end.
Exactly. But the one thing that we can be fortunate and thankful for is that we have a Florida Gator game tomorrow to watch, because with everything that's gone on, some teams haven't played, some leagues, conferences started late. It's just been one hell of a year, but I'm sure the four of us and everybody watching can definitely say they are ready to watch Florida versus Tennessee. It's not the rivalry that it used to be, but it's always going to have that competition. It's an SEC East game, and with a win tomorrow, we can clinch the SEC East, which is great news, and put ourselves in a spot in Atlanta to play most
And by the
likely
way,
that it'd be
Bama wins
Alabama.
too, if Bama
That's
wins
right.
too, they win the Western Division.
Yes, so everything is still kind of a little up for grabs. Nothing's official, nothing's clinched. But tomorrow the Gators can lock their spot in, which is great news. But looking at this game versus Tennessee, it's going to be the Florida high-powered offense versus a Tennessee defense that is not very great, and we'll get into all of that. But Moose, I'm gonna start with you with this question. How have you thought coming into the season? How did you think Florida would do compared to how they're actually doing with everything?
Well,
that
Bobby,
is,
Bobby, coming into the season, I knew the offense would be powerful. You get a guy like Kyle Trask back. You get Kyle Pitts, arguably the best playmaker in the country. I knew that the offensive line had to, they had a lot of young guys, come back that are now sophomores and juniors, but the receiving core was a little of an unknown, simply because you lose guys like Freddie Swain, Josh Hammett, Tyree Cleveland, Van Jefferson, man. But I'll tell you what, these receivers, Grimes and Tony and Shorter, and you've had Whittemore, man. Guys have stepped up, and let me tell you, Bobby, this is a fun team to watch. I knew going into the year, like I said, our offense would be good, but man, they're ahead of schedule, man, and as you stated, Bobby, Florida's in the position right now to where, hey, go up to Knoxville, win the East tomorrow, man. Let's go.
yeah, let's get it. We definitely want to see the Gators come away with the win. Daryl, how do you feel about the offense coming into this particular game versus Tennessee?
You're on me, buddy.
I think we're going to be ready for it. Of course, we got to see some. I think we got to. I really want to see the line of scrimmage control a little bit more and get some more runs. I'd like to see that. I know we can pass the ball really well, but I do want to see the offensive line be able to hold up a little bit better.
Right.
Absolutely. Definitely want to see the Florida offense get it to go together in the trenches. Offensive line, Moose, you said it well. The Florida offense has been the wide receiver core was a question mark coming into the season, but these guys have filled in great. Getting Justin Shorter from Penn State, a former 5-star, and he's come in and Yeah, you would like to see, some teams have this one breakout player that you really have a standout wide receiver. But Florida, we have so many great guys on that can play tight end, that can play wide receiver, and our running backs, catch the ball very well. So, offensively, we are rolling, and we're going to keep it rolling. I feel coming into tomorrow's game. Lucas, I'm gonna give you this question because I know how you are. Like, how do you feel about the Florida defense against the Tennessee offense?
I was to be honest, I'm kind of nervous about the game because I know how bad the defense has played, but I think we got a chance to get it together, especially since we're playing Tennessee, and Tennessee is Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee's. It's always a game that recently in recent years we have dominated. I'm actually going to bring this up on the screen, so for everyone to see. In the last 10 matchups, Florida has won 9 of the 10. So it's kind of
15 of 16.
Yeah, 15 of the last 16 and 9 of the last 10. So Florida is really rolling in the aspect of dominating this series and many other that we play. Looking at the game, I'm ready for it. I have some family that live in Tennessee. They are Tennessee fans, so this is a game that for me, it's a different level to it. Playing in Tennessee, playing in Knoxville, a lot of people haven't really talked about this. And Moose, how do you think the Florida Gators are going to do with the colder weather? Did you hear me, Moose?
Hey, Bobby, go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
Okay. How do you feel? Do you think the weather is going to be a factor for Florida?
I'm sorry, Bobby. I'm going through a service here, man.
I can hear you fine if you're able to hear this question. The question is, how do you think the weather will how do you think the weather will play a factor for Florida?
Well, looking, earlier today, I did, earlier in the week, they were predicting, possible snow and rain.
Yeah.
Looking at it earlier, I think kickoff, you're looking at about 45-degree weather and sunny. So it'll be a little cool. But like I said, guys, Dan Mullen, our Gators, we know exactly what goal, what we're going to Knoxville to claim the East. And I think that's something Coach Mullen has really made an emphasis on, is rivalry games since he's taken over Florida.
He's like 9-1 or something like that.
Yeah, I think
program. Tennessee is just one of those programs that's circled, and I don't think weather will play a big problem at all. I think our offense is going to roll.
Yeah, Daryl, Kyle Trask, Heisman favorite. How do you think he performs tomorrow?
Well, I believe he's going to get 3 or 4 touchdowns.
I think at this point, 3 or 4 touchdowns is probably a given for him.
Yeah.
And let's not forget to mention the fact that we are and the fact that we come into this game and we've only had 1 loss, and which is amazing. The season has been crazy. It's an all SEC schedule. Kyle Trask has not been like your franchise quarterback that has been starting every single game. He's only got the 8 games this year and like the 8 games last year. So he's got about 16 games underneath his belt. I mean, yeah, he's played in some other when we rack up the score and all of that. But I'm talking to actually be in the game, manage the game, and run the offense. So I knew coming into this season, Kyle Trask looked really good last year. I knew in the offseason that he would say, this is my team, this is my shot, and I've got to shine. And he's taken advantage of every bit of it. And Moose, if you paid attention to any of the shows that we've done, Daryl and Lucas and myself, we've really praised Kyle Trask and the man that he is, the character that he brings, the intensity that he brings, the work ethic, the loyalty, the dedication. His parents raised a damn good kid, and I just wish nothing for the best but for Kyle Trask. He's a humble dude. I mean, he's got the whole 9 yards.
Oh, okay, no problem. That's all right.
Yes, ma'am.
So coming into this game, Kyle Trask has 2,810 yards, 34 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's huge. Now, Garantino tomorrow, he comes in at 112 yards, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Can I give you guys another stat? Garantino has 8 less touchdowns than Kyle for a career than Kyle Trask has this year.
Exactly. Lucas, you make a great point because that's another stat that I had wrote down myself. And Garantino's 29 games versus SEC opponents, he's only passed for 26 touchdowns and has had 12 interceptions. That's in 29 games. In 8 games this year alone, Kyle Trask has 34 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. That's unheard of. That is a crazy stat.
It really is, Bobby. That is unheard of. I mean, considering the schedule that we knew coming into the season with an all SEC schedule, it's getting kind of crazy. Pat Dooley kind of said it perfectly. Gator fans are expecting 5 touchdowns almost every game, and when he throws for 4, some fans are disappointed by it. It's like, man, that's when things are rolling right. That's when you think things are rolling right. It's so fun. It's so fun to watch. Everyone knows his story as a backup back in high school, but the process the entire time, and he's made the most of his opportunity, man. And he's got a chance to lead us to Atlanta with the win tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about the Tennessee offense because we can talk. We know our defense is not the greatest defense in the world. When you talk about the Florida defense, we give up 25.9 points per game. We give up total defense 386 yards, which is 6th in the SEC. Oh, and by the way, for every stat that I give you about the Florida defense, our Florida defense is better than the Tennessee defense. So that should shed some light on how horrible Tennessee is because we know the Florida Gators on defense is suspect. We know that, coming into a lot of the games, we have a slow start. And for whatever reason that I had asked Daryl this question, why can't the Gators on defense cover a 7-yard slant? It just seems like the slant pass they get us every time. When you play the Florida defense, the opposing quarterback has a great game, and we got to eliminate that coming into this game because Tennessee in total offense is 106th in the nation and 12th in the SEC, and there's only 14 teams. They're only better than 2 teams on total offense. So, Lucas, with that being said, I think Florida's defense has a shot to make a lot of plays that we would not normally be able to make on a better team. How many turnovers do you think that the Florida defense is going to get, Lucas?
Ooh, that's going to be a tough one. I'm going to say 3.
You're going to say 3? Okay.
2 interceptions, 1 fumble.
All right. I like it.
Lucas,
I like the description.
I'm gonna agree with Lucas. However, I think the rumor has it Harrison Bailey could see, the freshman quarterback for Tennessee could possibly see some playing time. And let me tell you, if his first start is against that Florida defense, man, I think we get 3. I think our secondary we can come up with 3 turnovers.
Yeah. Tennessee on scoring offense is 109th in the nation, 11th in the SEC. With their rushing offense is 74th. Everything else is in the hundreds. Their rushing offense is the only thing that is not in the hundreds. They are 74th in rushing offense. And their turnover to interception ratio, they are 115th in the league. They have more interceptions on the whole season than they do passing touchdowns on the whole season. They have 6 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. So when we talk about those stats right there, I think the Florida defense has a shot to have a big day.
Bobby, I'm gonna say,
go ahead, Daryl.
Hey guys, look, I'm gonna let y'all go. I didn't want to stay on too late. I got these little boys running around, but go Gators! We're gonna beat Tennessee this weekend, and it's gonna be a big game. But we'll take
Daryl,
them
before
down,
you
all right?
go,
and clinch these. And hey, and it was
Daryl. Before you go, drop your score prediction. I know you did it the other night, but for those who are watching tonight,
41-21 is what you had.
I can't remember. I think it was 41-21.
Yep.
That's
all
what I
right.
got.
All right, Daryl. Thank you for joining, and we will
right,
see
guys.
you. Go
Hey,
Gators!
go Gators.
Daryl, man, thank
All
you.
right,
Go Gators, man.
It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, too.
So as Florida, has this game going into Tennessee tomorrow on the road in Knoxville, 3:30, not noon. We can all be thankful for that. But the Florida, Florida offense,
too, so there's that.
Yeah, for the Florida offense, we pass for 369 yards a game. And Tennessee's defense, they're 79th, and they give up 243 yards per game. So that's just passing alone. So for Florida's offense should be able to pass the ball. I think Kyle Trask is going to go for 3 or 4 touchdowns easily. With Kyle Pitts in the game, Kyle Pitts he's outstanding. He's the best tight end that we've had since Aaron Hernandez, and he's going to go down as one of the greats, obviously. And the record that he just keeps breaking.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but I posted something about Kyle Pitts is only 147 yards away from breaking Aaron Hernandez's record for most yards by a tight end.
Exactly.
I mean, the bottom line is this. We know Kyle Pitts, Gator fans, but the nation knows he is the biggest mismatch, and I know Gator fans and college football fans have heard this term probably more times than any in the last 3 months. The guy's too big for a safety or a corner, and he's too fast for a linebacker.
Yeah.
The guy is a mismatch problem on anyone.
Yep.
And for a quarterback to have a weapon like that with the receivers that's coming along from Florida and have stepped up for the guys we lost last year, man. Guys, this offense is powerful, man. It is powerful. I believe it can score on anyone.
I haven't had this much fun watching Gator football since 2008.
Yes. Well, let me give you this stat right here.
Lucas, I absolutely agree. This is by far the best offense I've seen since Timmy T was there, man. And credit to Coach Mullen. That's something I want to speak on because Coach Mullen and Jeremy Pruitt. You got to think they came on in the same year. Look where both programs are right now.
Yeah.
Coach Mullen right now, like the first 33 games, he's got the best. He's got the best record for first 33 or 34 games in our history.
34. It's 20.
Yep.
Tennessee fans want Jeremy Pruitt out of there.
Yeah.
Look where we sit, guys. And we got a chance to go to Rocky Top and claim the East. I mean, we're in the position that we want to be in. I mean, that's the bottom line. And as a fan, man, I couldn't be more happy, man.
Exactly. Florida's offense and defense should have a great day, a great game. We got to continue the winning ways and continue to dominate this rivalry that in the ways that we have. This is probably the poorest, the most overall offense and defense worst team that we have played this year. And that's probably saying even Vanderbilt is a little better in some categories than what Tennessee is. So that should say something right there alone. But like you say,
the difference I believe is that Vanderbilt game. You had a noon kickoff. You had no fans in the stands.
You had,
So,
no, it wasn't. I don't mean to cut you out, but it was an 11 a.m. kickoff because it was an hour behind.
Right. But with Tennessee, the players know what the rivalry means. That's one, like I said, that's one thing Coach Mullen has really instilled into his players. I believe is the importance of the Tennessee game. It's one of those games that's circled every year, no matter what the record is. There will be no lack of motivation tomorrow. I promise you, man.
No.
To me, I expect Kyle Trask to come out and throw 3 or 4 in the first half.
Yeah. And we were talking about Tennessee's quarterback problems and the fact that they will most likely start Harrison Bailey, the true freshman, who against Auburn went 7 for 10, 86 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. On the year, he's gone 14 of 23, 175 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So Tennessee, even with you go with their freshman quarterback, they're not ready. They're just not. We should have a field day with them. This should be more of a practice game than anything. And that's not even trying to disrespect Tennessee. But when you look at them on the stats on paper of what it is, and that the stats are one thing, but this is why we play the game and go out there and compete to see what they can do. We've seen each and every week teams that are supposed to be really good and dominate. They don't do as good as they should. Things can happen in a game like turnovers. For instance, in the Texas A&M Florida game, Florida had their chance. We turned it over. A&M capitalized on that. So we just got to be better in all aspects of the game. The one thing from the offense that I'm really looking forward to seeing is our wide receivers against their secondary. And I'm talking all the wide receivers. On defense, I want to see the Gators play a complete game on defense and not look so damn confused trying to line up to whatever position wherever they're supposed to be at on the field. That's the defense. The problem on defense. I think we need a leader on defense, and I think Miller. I think he's going to be that dude to be the leader.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, Bobby. I mean, I agree, Bobby. I'm hoping as a turning point. Right before halftime of that Kentucky game, I think the entire college football landscape seen Coach Mullen get on Grantham like he did. But if you look at it, the second half that was the Gator defense. They played.
That was the Gator defense, exactly.
They didn't let up a single point the rest of the game. So
41.
I hope that's the turning point for this defense this season. I hope that's something that needed to be done because it needed to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. I truly 100% agree that the defense is our Achilles heel, as a phrase to put it. It's our problem that we have got to get over, and we play a complete game, and we won't have a problem.
I will say the defense has played much better the last 3 weeks.
Yes.
So
before we get off of here, Musa, I'm gonna start with you on the score predictions. What do you think the score prediction for tomorrow's game?
Oh man, Bobby, I think Florida wins by a lot, man. Florida's going up, and like I said, Florida's going up to Knoxville with a goal in mind. Bobby, I think it may be. I'll say 49-13.
49-13. Your score is actually
49-13. I don't think it'll be close.
Yes, your prediction is actually 1 point different from mine. I had said
Oh, wow.
48-13 was my
There we
my
go,
prediction.
man. So, hey, something's got to give there.
Yeah.
I got
I just think that the
I
offense
hope you don't
continues
miss an extra
to
point.
do their thing.
I honestly think the offense continues to do what they've been doing all year, and the defense plays like they did the second half versus Kentucky for the whole game, and we win by four touchdowns, 38-10 as my final score prediction.
See, Moose, you make a great point
I'll
about
gladly
that second half of that Kentucky game. If that's the motivation that we needed for Mullen to get on Grantham and change things up, then if we continue to go, play defense like that, I think we'll be in good hands. But Moose, let me ask you this: Do you
Absolutely.
think?
I
Do you
absolutely.
think?
I just think that.
Do you think Todd Grantham his job is on the hot seat?
I think we lost him.
That's a great question, Bobby. Hey, go ahead, Bobby. Repeat that. I'm sorry. I got service now. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Do you think Todd Grantham's job is on the hot seat?
That's a great question, Bobby. Right now, no. And here's why. You have to look. Us Gator fans, we got to realize, the absence of spring ball. I kind of feel like if you look around the college football landscape, the offenses are a little more ahead of the defense. And I know that may not be an answer a lot of Gator fans want to hear. I think Grantham is adjusting. I feel like our Gator defense is adjusting as the year goes on. We all know Grantham is in a way, he's a high risk, high reward kind of coordinator. The stunts and blitzes that he brings,
Yes,
benefit
absolutely.
Florida, but sometimes they don't kill us.
Yes.
However,
And I said this.
Grantham's been with Coach Mullen for 4 or 5 years now, going back to Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Right now we're winning. I don't think he's on the hot seat. No, I do not. However, the temperature will turn up tomorrow if Harrison Bailey does score points on our defense. You'll hear the talk, the Grantham talk. You'll hear the rumors. Not the rumors, but you'll hear that the frustration from Gator fans. However, I just don't see it from Tennessee tomorrow. I think it's a mismatch nightmare, man. And they across the board.
I agree. You kind of basically have been saying what I've said all along is I don't feel that his job is on the hot seat as of yet. You made the great point about the lack of spring, the lack of fall not being the way it should be. Dan Mullen is very routine in how he goes about things, and that way you're on a routine. Your players are on a routine. They know what to expect. They know to bring that relentless effort every day. And this year has been a year that is unlike no other, as I had alluded to in the beginning of the podcast. But we can't have no excuse for coming into this game. We got to continue to keep the ball rolling and continue to get it in the end zone. I mean, we're one of the best teams to do it.
I agree with you. I agree with what
I feel like
you
a lot of
guys
Gator
said.
fans maybe should be a little bit worried about losing Brian Johnson because he's a guy. Brian Johnson, I believe, is about 33, 34 years old. The guy, listen, man, he's taken over the reins as our OC this season, and look what he's done. And considering his age, that's a guy that
He's
Mullen
like the
obviously wants to
he's
keep
like the
forever.
Sean McVay of college.
The way Coach Johnson is coached, and that's one I would expect maybe a head coaching job to kind of come along the line somewhere at some time.
Yeah. We have some great coaches, but the one thing that I've really loved and enjoyed from last season going into this season is the fact that we kept all of our coaches. So when you go into an off season and especially in off season where you can't get the reps, you can't get the practice, and you can't get the time to find out what a player is good at, what they're not good at, what are their pros or cons. Because we all know, a quarterback may be better to read a man, zone defense than a man coverage defense. So those are the things that you kind of lack out by not getting all of the spring and the fall. So it takes the season and playing these games in the in-game situations to find out who's good and who's not. And I feel like you said earlier, the Todd Grantham defense is a risk and reward defense. So when you look at that and you got to go, okay, for Todd Grantham's defense to be successful, he's got to have good defensive ends that can get at the quarterback and pressure the quarterback. That is the only way that his defense will truly be successful to live up to the standard of the defense that he wants to play, playing a lot of soft zone.
Absolutely, and credit to guys like Brenton Cox, man. He's a guy that really, if you look at it, last 2 or 3 weeks, he's really stepped it up a notch. Obviously, getting Tyree Campbell back before Georgia, or back, back for that Missouri game, I should say. It's kind of helped that defensive line a little bit. It's, guys like Dexter aren't coming, and starting right away. We're building depth, but credit to guys like Brent, man, because Cox is getting after quarterbacks, man. Him and Zach Carter are they're a force to be reckoned with right now. And if we get that pressure, man, Florida's defense has the potential. It does, man.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But is there anything you would like to? Go ahead.
Going back to the offensive side of the ball. I want to give credit, obviously, to Coach John Hevesy, our offensive line coach. Everyone wants to talk about the Kyle Trask and the receivers and how great Kyle Pitts is, and deservedly so. However, if you look at our offensive line, they're giving Kyle and our running backs. They're giving Kyle time in the pocket. They're opening up holes with Damian and Naquan and Malik Davis. Mm-hmm. Our offensive line is, in my opinion, they're just as important right now than anyone, man. Because you got guys like Stone Forsythe, our left tackle. How many sacks? Mm-hmm. Has he given up a sack this year? Has he?
Kyle Trask, I believe he's got like 6 sacks on the year, something like that. I mean, it's not a lot. But Kyle Trask is one of those players that he'll hold the ball in the pocket.
Oh, I know, guys. Veteran guys, like Heggie, Forsythe, Richard Garage, man, is another one that's really coming along. Mm-hmm. And Florida's success offensively is because of that O-line, man. And the guys that Hevesy, in the Hevesy, we don't have to have the 4 or 5 stars on our O-line, but credit the player development going on at that position.
The player development going on everywhere on the team is tremendous, because you look at Naquan Wright and he's come along great.
Like I have said many times, if you would have told me we would be 28-6 after 3 years ago, I would have said you'd be lying.
Absolutely,
yes,
absolutely, because
man, go ahead.
But Mullen has just dominated, and has shown that he's a great coach. And to me, I think he should be SEC Coach of the Year.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
I do too. When you consider, I don't mean to cut you off, but when you consider what we had to go through with COVID, he had COVID and then he came back, and then
he's definitely rode the roller coaster and has gone through all the ups, all the downs, and he's ready. Yeah, he had COVID, but luckily he didn't miss any games. When we had to do all the postponements and all that, that changed up the way of the season. But I think the offense and the team would still improve and do what they need to do, even if he wasn't coaching, because they know what to expect from him.
Exactly.
Good point.
And you know what you get out of Dan. And you know what you get out of Dan Mullen. He's a dude that's a kid at heart, but when it comes time to work, you're coming to work. You're coming to play.
I mean, just look at his.
Yes,
Just look
sir.
at the quarterbacks that he has coached that are in the NFL. Dak Prescott, Alex Smith.
Exactly. He's to me one of the quarterback whisperer. The names of the quarterbacks that he's
I don't know
developed
if you guys
and
saw
stood
this,
behind.
but I don't know if you guys saw this, but apparently I was told by a source that the Texas reached out to him and he said, "No, I'm good. I'm going to be at Florida for the long haul." I know. I'm not sure if you guys saw that.
Yeah,
If he had the shot to go to the NFL, I think he should take it and move on.
I mean the Longhorns, not the. I mean, the Texas Longhorns. Did you guys see that?
No, I did not.
I have heard the urban of Texas rumors, and they are really picking up.
They're picking up, but I think they'll die down. I don't think that'll
I
be
do
an
too.
issue.
I just don't see.
Hey guys, I didn't realize it, but we've been going at this for 36 minutes. We might want to.
Yep. Well, before we let you guys go tonight, just know that I will be keeping updates on the Gator Gang group. Lucas will be doing it on his group as well. He will not be able to stream the game. So for those of you who are always in tune in streaming the game, that won't be available from us. If anybody would...
Actually, I might be able to, because I might just start the stream before I leave and then leave it on the TV and then turn it off when I get home.
There you go. That's a possibility. If anybody else would like to stream the game on the page, feel free to do that.
If not, I'll just do what I just said.
Yep, exactly. So as everybody knows, before we get off here, if you in a Gator,
you must be Gator.
There you go. Thank you guys and have a good night. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel in the description below.
Go Gators.